In the ever-changing landscape of immigration in the UK, obtaining a sponsor license has become a crucial aspect for employers looking to hire skilled workers from overseas. As of January 2021, this requirement extends to all foreign nationals, including Europeans. The process of acquiring a sponsor license in the UK can be complex and demanding, and especially if you intend to hire skilled workers from overseas. We have total 9 agenda points in this short video, and we shall cover points such as what is sponsor license, what is eligibility requirements for license, how much does it cost, what is the timeline, what is the rating, and how can you apply for sponsor license, and what documents do you need to apply for sponsor license, what is that timeline and approval of COS. So if this topics is useful and something interesting, please stick with me till the end of this video. Before we dwell into today's topic, a quick intro. I am Yash Dubal, Managing Director at AYJ Solicitors. We are an SRA regulated legal 500 firm with over a decade in UK immigration, winning multiple awards, serving 4,000 plus clients and having 1,200 positive reviews. We are here to help you. So let's start with the agenda 1. What is sponsor license? A sponsor license is previously known as Tier 2. Sponsor license allows your UK based companies to employ foreign workers who are based overseas or within the UK on different visa categories such as student visa or dependent visa. Once the license is approved, it will be valid for 4 years with the option for renewal. The eligibility requirement, that's agenda 2 for sponsor license. First requirement, you must have an active trading UK business. Second requirement is the Home Office must be satisfied that you are able to offer a genuine employment in a skill occupation and that you will pay the correct rate of salary as specified by the Home Office. The third requirement is to have appropriate policy and procedure in place to fulfill your duties as the sponsor license holder. The individuals are normally not eligible to apply for sponsor license, but exception is if you are sole trader, self-employed, you could apply for sponsor license to sponsor someone from overseas under skill category. The agenda 3 is how much does a sponsor license application cost? The fee for sponsor license depends on the size and type of organization. This application fee is payable every time the sponsor renews their license, which happens every 4 years normally. Organizations classified as medium and large are required to pay a sponsor license fees of 1,476. However, you are classified as a small sponsor if two of the following conditions apply. Your annual turnover is less than 10.2 million, your total assets are worth 5.1 million or less, and you have 50 employees or fewer. Now, registered charities are also considered to be a small sponsor. Now, if you are considered a small organization, you are required to pay only £536 for the sponsor license fees. The agenda 4 is what is a sponsor license rating? So there are actually 2 sponsor license rating. One is A rating and another is B rating. If you are successful in your sponsor license application, you will be awarded an A rating straight away. This is the highest rating and is awarded by the Home Office. To retain A rating, you are required to have a necessary system and policy and procedure in place to comply with the sponsorship duty. The Home Office may reassess this rating at any time during a potential compliance visit, and they will determine your organization's criteria to meet the A rating again. If the Home Office finds that the business is not compliant with sponsorship, it may be downgraded to B rating. Now, a B rated sponsor will need to meet a time limited action plan to regain their A rating, and if they cannot meet the requirement, the Home Office can revoke the license. It should be noted that the Home Office can suspend or revoke a license without taking the initial step of downgrading to a B rating. The choice of action taken by the Home Office will depend on the seriousness of the breaches which have been identified. Now, how can you apply for a sponsor license? So to apply for a sponsor license, you will need to submit an application form online, which will also require documents with me, which takes me to the next agenda, which is what documents you will need to apply for a sponsor license. Now, you will normally need minimum 4 documents to apply for a sponsor license, skilled workers license application, and the list is extensive and depend on whether you are representing a public body, startup, franchisee or SMEs. But normally documents may include latest business bank statements, that's number 1, employees liability insurance of at least 5 million from an authorized insurance, the certificate of VAT registration, the evidence of registration as an employer with HMRC, i.e. the PAYE and account office reference number, and number 5 is a proof of ownership or a lease of a business premises or a rent agreement. The 6th document you may include is latest audited or unaudited accounts. Audited accounts are mandatory if your company is legally obliged to file audited accounts. Now, if you are required to be registered with and or inspect or monitored by a regulatory body to operate lawfully in the UK, evidence of this registration is mandatory. Now, the next agenda is is what is the processing time for sponsor license application. So at the time of publication of this video, the standard processing time for sponsor license application is around 8 weeks. A priority service request can be made to the Home Office, and if accepted, they will request a further payment of £500, and they aim to process your application within 10 working days. The agenda 8 is how to issue a COS once license is received. The certificate of sponsorship stands for COS. It's an electronic document generated by sponsorship management system after the license is granted. In order to sponsor a migrant worker, the company must first request a COS from the Home Office through SMS, which is an online portal, and once this is granted, the company will need to assign it to a migrant worker so that they can then submit their skilled worker visa application. The next agenda is a timeline for certificate of sponsorship approval. Once you have identified the person you want to sponsor, you can apply for this via SMS, which is an online portal called self-service management system, and normally it takes around 48 hours unless additional information required. This is treated on a case by cases by the Home Office. That's all in today's video. I hope you found this useful. Obtaining a sponsor license is a vital step for business looking to sponsor and hire overseas skilled staff. And if you need further assistance, reach out to us on the number provided on the screen or complete an inquiry form that you will find in the description section below. Thank you so much for watching.